All right, so this is your biomolecule enzyme review. I'm going to go through a question and then you're going to try some on your own. So whenever we see some long, scary images or questions like this, I'm going to first just bracket my question right before my answer choices to see if I even need to read the extra information they gave me. Which statement about enzyme activity is best supported by this graph? So I'm seeing enzyme activity and graph. Because there is a graph, I'm going to annotate my graph. There's no title. My x-axis is pH. My y-axis is pepsin activity. Pepsin is my enzyme, which we can see here. Pepsin is my enzyme. The purpose of this graph is essentially showing me my optimum or best pH. Now I will go through my answer choices. An enzyme must be composed of polypeptides to work properly. There's no info about this. B, an enzyme's rate of activity increases with time. There is no info about time. Remember, my x-axis is pH. An enzyme functions best at specific pH. Well, this is exactly aligned to my purpose, so yes. An enzyme works best in certain bacterium that have adapted to certain pH levels and in animal cells. There's no info about that. My answer choice is C. To recap, I bracketed my question closest to the answer choice, decided if I needed any further information, annotated my graph, and decided if my answer choices matched my graph. You need to try number 2. Pause the video now. Welcome back. So this is what you should have gotten for number 2. The answer choice is B because it matches the purpose of the graph you should have written. We're going to do number 3 together, so flip your page. All right, number 3. So I'm going to bracket my question right before my answer choices. Which of the following represents evidence that could be used to support the claims about this product? Well, I need to figure out what is this product claiming. So it says take our supplement when eating meals high in lipids to prevent intestinal gas. So this is its claim. It is preventing intestinal gas. So I need to see, one, how is gas even formed? I want to see if this tells me. So some foods that are rich in complex lipids can be difficult to digest. Gas often forms as the foods are slowly digested. That's a key word. Slowly digested, that just means broken down by bacteria in the large intestine. So essentially, if I have slow digestion of lipids, there is more gas. So slow digestion of lipids leads to, that's this arrow, more gas. So now I'm going to go through my answer choices. All right, lipids are found in all of these places. Olive oil is known to form younger, healthier looking skin. That is not related to my supplement. Consuming enzymes. I know enzymes speed up reactions. This is reactions. Specific for lipid. Okay, good. It's specific for lipid. Digestion, breakdown. Helps the body digest lipids faster in the large intestine. So my enzymes are speeding up digestion. I know that if I speed up digestion, I have less gas. So this is looking like my answer choice. Let's go through C and D to make sure. All right. So this first sentence is just a fun fact. Vitamin supplements contain important ingredients that support proper nutrition. Well, that's nice, but it's not related to my supplement. D, some supplements and bacteria to a person's diet. These bacteria populate, this just means fill, the large intestine and prevent lipid digestion. This is the opposite of what I want. opposite of advertisement. So my answer choice is B. I bracketed the question before my answer choice. I discovered the claim. I related how gases formed to digestion. And then I looked through my answer choices to see which one would increase digestion to lower the amount of gas. That's B. Try number 4, this one on your own. Pause the video now. All right, so check yourself. These are the annotations you should see. Your final answer is D because you related this answer choice with the claim to prevent intestinal gas. The difference between this question and the previous question is the biomolecule that it breaks down. Make sure you see all of this. And then flip the page to do the next problem. So we're going to go over how to read a nutrition label. So the first thing I need you to do is determine which biomolecules you see in the nutrition label above. So I see right off the bat carbohydrates. I see proteins. And I see fat, which is a lipid. So lipids are fats. So I see 1, 2, 3. Which biomolecule does the nutrition label contain the most of? Well, most would be highest grams. My highest grams is carbohydrates with 30. My next question asks me which biomolecule does the nutrition label contain the least of? That would be lowest grams. And that would be proteins. How much quick energy? Remember, that's carbohydrates. How much quick energy does the above nutrition label contain? Because it's talking about quick energy, which is carbohydrates, I find carbohydrates, that's 30 grams. How much long-term energy, long-term, think L for long-term, L for lipid, does the above nutrition label contain? I see lipid. I'm going to go to my total fat that I have labeled lipid. It has 15 grams. Lip. All right, so this has a lot of words. So I'm going to go through how we speed up the process for answering these long, wordy questions. So again, bracket the question right before the answer choices. So which of the following describes how the oxygenase enzyme speeds up the chemical reaction? So I know ACE is an enzyme. Enzyme speeds up the chemical reaction. It's simply asking me how. I know from the definition of how enzymes work, any enzyme speeds up the chemical reaction by lowering activation energy or lowering the energy a chemical reaction needs to start. I am looking for this answer in my answer choices. Oxygenase increases the amount of light that is released. No. Oxygenase increases the number of places on the chemical that oxygenase can bind to. Oxygenase decreases the pH of the environment inside the body of the piranha. No. Oxygenase decreases the amount of activation energy required for the reaction. Yes, that matches my definition. I want you to try number 12 on your own. Pause the video. All right, so check yourself for number 12. Again, all enzymes speed up chemical reactions by lowering activation energy. That is the answer choice that you are looking for, which is B. So we're going to do number 13 together. I want you to bracket the part of the question that you are going to be looking at. Do that now. All right. Which statement explains how COMT works? So I have no idea what COMT is, so I'm going to go back in my question. I see scientists have discovered an enzyme COMT. I went to this particular section because I saw COMT. It's an enzyme that works to inhibit the breakdown of dopamine. This is what it is. This is what it does. So now I go through my answer choices. Do my answer choices match this description? CUMT breaks down into smaller pieces that react with dopamine fragments, forming more complicated molecules. Does not match. So no match. CUMT molecules link several dopamine molecules together, forming a complete protein. That doesn't match either. I'm simply matching my answer choice to the description. CUMT speeds up the reaction that inhibits the breakdown of necessary dopamine. Well, speeding up a reaction, that's an enzyme, and it inhibits or stops the breakdown of necessary dopamine. CUMT is an enzyme which speeds up the reaction. It works to inhibit the breakdown of dopamine. C is my answer. I will do number 14 and you will do number 15. So, number 14, I'm going to bracket my question right before my answer choices. If enzyme 1 is denatured, so quick review, denatured means the enzyme changes shape so much that it no longer works. So changes shape, no work. The levels, or the amount, of which substance will increase. Increase means to go up. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 substances. All this is showing us is that if I start with sucrose, I will end with glucose, and these are the steps in between. So if enzyme 1 doesn't work, then which substance will increase? Well, if enzyme 1 doesn't work, then sucrose cannot be turned into UDPG. So for each of these steps, one substance is being turned into another substance. So UDPG turns into T6P, T6P turns into trehalose. Trehalose eventually turns into glucose. If enzyme 1 doesn't work, sucrose cannot be turned into UDPG. Therefore, my sucrose level would increase. It is not being turned into anything else. Try number 15 on your own. Pause the video. Check that you have the correct annotations and the correct answer, which is 1,2-propane-diol. We're going to try number 16 on your own. Pause the video now. So check yourself. It is asking which are the most abundant, meaning the most of each element in biomolecules. Biomolecules are organic compounds, meaning every single one has to have a carbon-hydrogen bond. I have listed out the elements for each biomolecule. All of them have in common carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The most important I'm looking for, the most abundant elements have to be carbon and hydrogen. I can eliminate every other answer choice based on the fact they don't have carbon and hydrogen. I want you to try number 17 on your own. Pause the video. Check yourself. I am looking for which has the most protein but least calories. I got protein based on the fact that it told me it provides growth and repair. That is the function of protein. I became stuck between C and D because they both have a lot of protein. However, I needed to look for the least amount of calories. D has much fewer calories than answer choice C. Do number 18 on your own. So this question includes 3 very scary diagrams that are simply just 3 examples of protein. The main point here is that when you have a different structure, the function will be different. That's why answer choice B is correct. You don't even need these diagrams. If you have a different structure, you will have a different function. That concludes the biomolecule enzyme review.